Hello and welcome back to my channel if you're a returning viewer, and if you're new here, I'm so happy that you found me. Today I will be painting this cabin in the woods, and for this I will be using my Himi Mia gouache and my Himi gouache brushes. This painting was done as a part of a weekly Instagram challenge. This challenge is run by a couple of accounts that I follow on my Instagram, and you can find the links to those and also to my Instagram account in the description down below. I will be painting in my current sketchbook, and as usual I start with taping the edges of the page as I want the edges to be crisp and sharp, and I also do a rough sketch. The only part that I'm really paying attention to here is the perspective, as I want the cabin to look quite perspective correct. But the rest of the things, I'm just marking the bigger trees, but I leave all the background trees for later. I'm just marking the place I want those background trees to be in. Usually when I start painting the background, I keep the gouache quite runny. It's so opaque, but I definitely don't have it as thick as when I'm painting the foreground objects. Here I started painting the background trees, and for this I still mix quite a lot of water in with my gouache, and I'm trying to build up layers of the trees, of the foliage. I have to be honest here, and I have to say I am still quite new when it comes to painting with gouache, and a lot of the times I just wing it, you might say. I know some people start the backgrounds with a mid-tone or a dark tone. I kind of go with my gut feeling. I go with what feels right at the moment. For now, I'm trying to do as many gouache paintings as I can, and as many as the time allows me to do, and I'm just playing with it and exploring and experimenting. So whatever you see here, maybe it will not be technically correct when it comes to painting with gouache, but it definitely is something that feels right for me at that given moment. One thing I wanted to mention here, and I have to say this video is not sponsored in any kind of way, because everything you see here, the sketchbook, the paint, the brushes that I'm using, I've purchased all of those in with my own money. But I have to say that I actually love those brushes. I had used another set of brushes to use with this gouache, with this jelly gouache, and they were my standard watercolor brushes that I always use. I use Pro Arty Prolin brushes, which I love for watercolors, but I tried using them with this gouache, and because my brushes are so soft, I felt like it didn't work that well, especially when I wanted to use that gouache with a little bit less water. So I kind of decided to bite the bullet and order a set of those Himi brushes. And I've ordered the green set first, I believe. But then when I tried them with this gouache, I absolutely love them. I think it's because they are so dense. They are still soft, but they are quite firm and quite dense. They work really well with this jelly gouache. And then I like them so much, I've ordered another set. So that's why you see two colors of those brushes. I've got one set that is green and the other set that is blue, and they were mixed, so they were round and flat brushes in those sets, in both sets, but just different sizes. But I really like them, and if you're looking for a set of brushes to use with the jelly gouache, I highly recommend them. The only thing that had happened, those brushes were completely white, the bristles were completely white when they were new, and I don't know if it's just the bristles they used, or maybe this gouache is highly staining. They turned colors and they're not white anymore, but it doesn't matter to me. I don't really mind that, I don't mind that those brushes look used. I actually quite like it. It just means that they are well loved. Okay, I started adding some branches to my background trees, and like most things in my life, I wing it. One of the things I love so much about painting with gouache is the fact that it's so opaque. Like before I painted those trees on the left, you could see the greenery that was supposed to be in the background was overlapping my sketch, and then I painted that area over with gouache and you can't see anything. So I think this is something that I really like. You don't really have to be precise. You can always paint things over. And it's the same with acrylics. That's why I like acrylics. I don't reach for them that often recently because I've been enjoying painting with gouache so much. But one of the attributes of acrylic paints, of painting with acrylic paints, is the fact that if you don't like something, you can always paint it over and start again. I just had a thought. I don't know if you ever think about this, but let me just voice what's going through my head. There are a lot of people on Instagram or on YouTube, and they would start a video and they would say, for example, "Hi, my name is da da da, and I am a watercolor artist, or I am a urban sketcher, or I am a gouache artist, or an acrylic painter, or a mixed media artist." And when I think of those labels, I can't think of anything that I could attach to my name, my channel. Like, I can't imagine myself saying, "Hi, my name is Hannah, welcome to my channel. I am a mixed media artist," or "I am a watercolor artist," because I don't only stick to one medium. I try different things and I enjoy a lot of different things. And maybe I could call myself a mixed media artist, but I don't always mix all those mediums on one page at the same time. Like here, for example, I'm painting with gouache, and there are other times when I do my Northern Line Station project when I just use ink and watercolors. And there are other times when I just play with collage and different kind of acrylics and oil pastels and everything. And maybe at that point I could call myself a mixed media artist because I'm mixing everything on a page at once. But times like this one, like for example doing this painting, I don't know, what am I? Have you ever thought, who am I? What label could I attach to myself? And are labels really that important? I mean, it would be nice to open my video and say, hi, my name is Hannah and I am artist. But I don't know. Is it important? Do you think it is important? Let me know in the comments what you think. Have you ever thought about labels when it comes to artists? I'm curious. Also, this video just passed 10-minute mark, and if you are still watching, I thank you for that. I just wanted you to know that this painting took about 2.5 hours, so it wasn't anything quick. I've just managed to compress everything to about 16 minutes. So we're now approaching 11-minute mark, and if you are still here, oh wow, I really, really appreciate you. I really appreciate the fact that you are still watching this video. So thank you. Also, if you've watched my last video that I've posted, the one with a mixed media landscape, you probably heard when I said I'm feeling a little bit low, and I think I was going through that so-called artist block. I was just feeling very uninspired and very unmotivated. But today I actually feel, and last couple of days I actually am feeling much, much better. I feel like I still want to create, and I actually have ideas of what I want to paint and how I want to paint it. So if you are going through anything like I went through in the last couple of weeks, last few weeks, just know that you will get through it, and the better times are coming, and you will be fine, and you'll be back to creating. So chin up and big smile. I wasn't sure how I want to approach painting this ground, but I've decided to go for just a thin layer of gouache. So basically added quite a lot of water to my gouache, and I've painted a layer of something that matched the color scheme of the reference picture I was using. And then on top of that, I'm just painting those grasses and leaves and whatever you might find on the floor of the forest. Watching this video now as I'm recording this voiceover, I'm trying to think what part of this painting I struggled the most, and I think it's the background trees. I have to figure out a better way of painting trees with gouache. And the other thing I'm seeing, hindsight is a wonderful thing, I could have added a little bit more leaves on the roof of that cabin. There's quite a lot of fallen leaves on this forest floor, but I've not added any on the roof. There are some green things like moss, probably, that's growing on that roof and on the little ladder, but I feel I should have added a bit more leaves to the roof of the cabin. It just seems a little bit bare, I think. also, I wanted to ask your opinion. As you've seen, most of my previous videos were filmed from the top, directly above, and this one is a mix of above and on the side, kind of like on the angle. And I just wanted to know, which angle do you prefer the most? Would you like to see the video filmed from above, directly from above, or like this at this angle is fine as well? Let me know. I would really appreciate your input. Maybe it won't sound very humble, but I do like how this painting turns out, and I like the combination of the colors. I like the fact that this jelly gouache is so bright and colorful, and oh, the greens, they're just popping off that page. Hopefully you enjoyed watching that video too, and if you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. It would really help me out. And in the meantime, I thank you for watching, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Take care. Bye bye.